welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk all about playing video games with one hand. Now I will say I'm not a big video game person, so I am not a good person to go to if you want to know how to play video games with one hand, because overall I didn't play that much video games. In terms of like PlayStation, I barely ever play PlayStation. That was more of like my brother, my dad thing. I did like play a little bit with my brother, I want to say, but for the most part I didn't. And that, like, the remote from the typical like PlayStation is made for like you need two hands, so yeah, that made it hard. But I wouldn't say that's not the reason I never played PlayStation. It was more just like I wasn't interested in it, and it was just like, you know, there's some things, as I have talked about on my channel, things that make me feel disabled, but playing video games was never one of those things. It was just one of those things that, I don't know, I wasn't interested enough in it, so I didn't feel the need to try to like figure out how to play, you know, PlayStation with one hand. Now, if I was interested in it, I would definitely have found a way, and I believe I could very well easily have found a way, but it was just something I wasn't interested in. And I believe, I don't know, I'm not an expert, as you can already tell. I think at this point they have made some adaptive like remotes that you can use with one hand. I know I don't know if this was something that I got or it was like a family gift, or I don't know, but I do have a Wii, and the Wii is amazing because it is made so you only have to use one hand. So I did play some Wii growing up, but like, I don't know, I don't feel like I played them that much Wii. Now, what I did play, what I'm going to talk about, is I play some Game Boy. I actually have my Game Boy right here. Now, I'm not going to play or attempt to play games in this video. I definitely want to do a video where I try different games and try to like figure out like what games are hard to do with one hand, but I feel like I'm gonna wait for that a little bit later, just because I feel like if I try now since I haven't played with my Game Boy or my DS, I actually don't even have the charger, so that's not great. But I will wait to do that in the future at some point, because I think it would be so much fun and hilarious, but I think I need to like maybe try a little bit and have a little more practice. But yeah, this is my Game Boy. It's in the case and it's pink, like this. Oh my goodness. Of course I got the pink one. Oh my god, it has a bunch of stresses. Not surprising. But the Game Boy, I feel like I, you know, gravitated to like the Game Boy, and I will show you my DS as well, because for me it was easier. Now, I don't know, this is I guess how I would play it. Like, I would, you know, hold it with my good hand, and then I would like lean against it, like have my weak arm like lean against it. And the Game Boy, if I'm thinking about like playing games that require, you know, really two hands, the Game Boy would be easier because the buttons are closer together. There's actually one game that I remember was hard for me to play, a little bit hard. It was a little challenging, but I found a way, and it was definitely easier to play with my Game Boy. So that is this game, Mario Kart, with like the racing. So it was definitely easier to play it on my Game Boy because you kind of do need two hands, but since the buttons are close together, it was easier for me to like switch off like this. And yeah, but of course I didn't just want a Game Boy. Like everyone, I feel like at the time, like everyone, like I remember even like, I don't know if you remember, if you had one, but Tamagotchis, oh my goodness, like everyone had them. Everyone at school had them. Like it was the thing to have, and I feel like a DS was one of them as well. So this is my DS. It's the same color, I think, as my Game Boy, and I don't know like what version this is, but yeah, it's the DS. And as you can see, or even just knowing what a DS looks like, it is harder to like use because the buttons are farther away from each other. So playing Mario Kart, the racing game, is a lot harder. And I actually attempted to like the other day to play it, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like I lasted like 10 seconds and I was like, this is frustrating. If only I had my battery though to charge my Game Boy, because it would be so much easier to just plug in my Game Boy. I remember trying that game way back when I got my DS, and I think it just takes some practice and I was able to do it a little bit, but obviously I'm not the best at that game because you really, as I said, you need 2 hands really to be good at it and be able to like race fast. And I actually still have some of my games, so probably like all of them in my case, which is pretty like funny. And I have the Hannah Montana. Oh my goodness. I have Hannah Montana, like, do you see that? And then I have Sunny with a Chance. I have, oh my god, I have Victorious, iCarly. I think I have iCarly. Yes, I have iCarly. Tell me you were obsessed with Disney Channel and Nickelodeon back when you were a kid without telling me you were obsessed. I think it shows with the games I have. This is actually Pet Shop. I have this one, Brain Ace, and I remember my friend, we traded games, and this was the one I got, and honestly, it's actually kind of fun. It tests, like, how good you are quickly with, like, math and all that, and I found that fun. But yeah, those are some of my games, like most of them, and it's just like so funny looking back. Now in terms of those games, I don't think there was a time when I was playing that I really thought, oh, this is challenging with not being able to use both of my hands. I don't think. However, when I do play with my DS, I remember, because if I just like hold my DS, I hold it like this with one hand, and there is this pointer. What is this called? I'm like the worst at words. But this thing, like this pen thing, and you like sometimes have to use that when you're playing the game and just like when you're using a DS. So for me, obviously I can't hold it and do it. Well, I could go like this. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I could do that, but one thing I definitely remember that helped me was I either lean my DS, like I get the same thing with my Game Boy, or I put it on my lap, and then, well, you can't really see it, you can't see it, but I'll put it on my lap, and I'll play it like that, and that's how I play with my Game Boy, or my DS. I don't remember any other game besides the racing game that was like challenging, that like it was like, okay, like this is gonna be hard. Like I don't think it's worth me playing this game. I definitely think there are a lot of games out there that you don't necessarily need to have use of both hands, and those were the games where I tried to, well, I wouldn't say those were the games where I was like, okay, I forget that. It was more like what I was interested in. You know, at the time, like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, so, and they just happened to work out for me. But yeah, so definitely in terms of playing video games, I play a lot of DS and Game Boy. Those were my main things. I didn't play PlayStation, like that was not my thing, but as I said before, it wasn't because it was frustrating, it was hard for me, it was just something I wasn't interested in that much. I don't know. I just prefer having like a layup device that I could bring around. In terms of other video games, I remember I was literally obsessed with Webkinz. If you had any Webkinz when you were a kid, let me know. I literally at one point had 17 Webkinz. I was a little obsessed. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I just love to collect them, and then I love playing on the computer. It was so much fun. It was like, that was the time. That was the life. when I was, I don't know, 10, I don't know, 8, I don't know when. I was just, it was amazing. And I don't remember any of like playing games on the computer to be challenging. I guess like it was amazing. But yeah, and I also this was more like in middle school, maybe even high school. But there was this website called Cool Math for Kids, and I first learned about it, I think, when I was in a class that we were playing this game. Or we were playing this on the computer, and it was so much fun. There was one game that was so much fun. Like, of course, I love math, so maybe it wouldn't be fun for other people, but there was this one game that I was literally obsessed. And yeah, it didn't require the use of 2 hands, and I think there may have been some games that require you can use 2 hands, I don't know, but like I was just obsessed with this one game, and I remember like playing it in class, like when honestly I shouldn't have been, but I was playing it. It was like amazing. In terms of video games that I play today, if I'm going to play anything, it's going to be a game on my computer. It's going to be a game on my iPad or my phone. And my 2 favorite games actually in high school was Candy Crush and Temple Run. I was obsessed. And those are the games that I like, I don't know, that interests me the most, and they don't require, you know, the use of 2 hands. Like for me, I feel like the hardest part is just like having a place to like maybe set my phone down. I feel like nowadays I play games on my phone or my iPad when the power goes out and there's no internet. Like I'm just like, oh, I guess there's only one thing to do. Play Candy Crush. That is my experience, honestly, playing video games. So yeah, I'm not an expert at any means. So like, no. I'm not someone you should honestly go to if you really want to like get into video games. So like find someone that knows how to play video games really well with 1 hand. But I think it would be so much fun to make a video where I try different video games. And I know there's a game that someone commented that I will try, and I guess I have it on my iPad. I just haven't had time to really like play the game, so I don't know it well enough to be able to like show it in a video, but I definitely will show that in the video whenever I get a chance and have more like time to try different games. And it's gonna be so much fun, I already know. And honestly, maybe frustrating, but I don't know. This is just my experience. Let me know in the comments like what your favorite video games are, if you play any PlayStation games or any other types of games. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, turn on post notifications, follow me on all my social media. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!